Rodnicks are humming in the dead of the night. Electric bills climbing, ain't feeling right. Hash rates dropping, profits thin as air. I'm digging for gold, but there's none down there. I got the crypto mining blues, feeling like I just can't choose. But there's a spark in the AI glow. Rent my computer, let the profits grow. Once I was king with my GPUs. Now I'm stuck paying the power dues. Every coin I mine feels heavier than lead, but I hear whispers of a future ahead. I got the crypto mining blues, feeling like I just can't lose. Switch my power to the AI flow, turn this burden into a glow. I see the light, it's flickering on. AI's calling my machines to respond. No more digging in the blockchain dirt. This pivot might just heal the hurt. I got the crypto mining blues, but I'm stepping in brand new shoes. The AI train's on a steady roll, gonna recompute and regain control.
I was digging deep in the digital ground, hoping for treasure, but nothing was found. The rigs were buzzing, the heat was real. Electric bills biting like a thief who steals. The crypto mining blues got me feeling low. The profits are gone, where did they go? But there's a light shining through the haze. Renting compute might just save my day. I stacked up GPUs, thought I'd strike it rich, but the market's a beast with a wicked glitch. Hash rates climbing, rewards falling flat. Chasing that coin, I'm chasing a cat. Crypto mining blues got me feeling low. The profits are gone, where did they go? But there's a light shining through the haze. Renting compute might just save my day. AI knocking, it's a brand new game, whispering sweet that it knows my name. Ran out the power, let it learn and dream. A smarter hustle, a brand new scheme. Now my GPUs hum a different tune, training models under the cyber moon. No more digging, no more feudal race, just AI visions lighting up the space. The crypto mining blues got me feeling low. The profits are gone, where did they go? But there's a light shining through the haze. Renting compute might just save my days. Now my GPUs hum a different tune, training models under the cyber moon. No more digging, just AI visions lighting up the space.
Almost did it without turning the mic on. Hello, happy Saturday to everybody. Appreciate you guys all being here. It doesn't look like it's a lot of people here tonight, but we got Amplifier Gaming, Birds of the Air, and Crypto MB. Looks like there's a few more people here, but they haven't chimed in on the chat. Patrick Murphy, good to see you. Yeah, speaking of 22s, I did see DJ stream today. Thought that was, for a guy who's never been into Pokemon, I'm starting to get a little interested in it. Anyway, but good to see you guys. Appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, it's been a kind of a crazy 24 hours. Real crazy. Yeah. But we'll get into that in a little bit. I have like a little story, kind of what my I'll go through it in a little bit, but we'll talk about the markets in a little bit. I will give people a little bit of time to get in and settled. We got SoxFan96, Frogman is here, as well as Eatable Zebra. Good to see you. Yeah, lots of red. Right now, the only place where you can go to safety right now pretty much is crypto, because the markets are open 24/7. But the stock market's not going to be open until Tuesday, because Monday's a holiday. So it's going to be a little while. I think that's part of the reason why Trump did what he did. He wanted to spare the stock market at least a little bit. But, you know, basically helped manipulate the crypto markets, in my opinion. But again, don't hate the game. Don't hate the game. You know that that's what he does. But anyway, we'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, I hope you guys are all doing well. What is Monday? Monday is Columbus Day, I believe. I think as a nation we still celebrate that, I guess. But yeah. I'll go through a little bit of my Friday outside of crypto. You know, you guys know I'm a warehouse manager. It's about a 750,000 square foot facility. And, you know, I was really looking forward to having a good Friday. So the day before we had, I call the workers kind of like the Uber of logistics workers. There's like these companies that you can go through where you can request workers on a daily basis. You may need 2 on one day, you may need 6 on another day. So anyway, ordering through that particular company, one of those workers got sick. And he mentioned that the last thing he had ingested was something from our coffee machine. So my manager decided to take precautions and shut it down. Reasonable, absolutely reasonable. I didn't think that that's what caused him to be sick. He had every symptom of norovirus, but again, a reasonable precaution to take. So Friday mornings, that happened on Thursday. This guy was so sick that he actually was taken away in an ambulance. He had norovirus, I think, and the early stages of it. So he was getting very dehydrated, delirious. So yeah, it was not a good situation, but it's usually a very short, violent, if you've ever had it, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so he was taken away. I'm sure he's fine, but we had to report it as a safety event because an ambulance showed up. So I reported it, and my manager was very specific about what I should say, and actually say that the coffee machine was shut down. And at which point the VP who was on the call yelled at me and said, "That's not what caused it. Turn that coffee machine back on." Everybody kind of on the call did one of these, eyebrows up. I was in the middle of talking at that point when he said that, so I just kind of left it there for about 5 to 10 seconds and then just continued on. So anyway, that was how my day started. So I was simply following instructions, but yet I'm the one who I'm the one who took the bullet, but it's fine. That's fine. But it was just kind of like, that should have been a indication of what my Friday was going to be like. So about midway through the day, we have we're an overflow for another warehouse that's a couple blocks away for a particular customer. And I get like a information from my manager saying, why aren't we sending product over to them? And I'm like, because they don't need it. Because I'm pulling up a spreadsheet that tells me their stock and our stock and what they actually need for their orders. I have the spreadsheet. I run it every day. And they're like, well, there's older lots in our building. We need to send it over there. And they say that they've been asking our building, not me directly, but I run the building. So I'm feeling like it's a direct attack on me. And, so, I was really, really pissed. Still am kind of about it, because what they were asking us to do wasn't hard and it wasn't going to take long. It was just like, oh, we've been asking for, like, you guys say you can't do it. No, we haven't. We have not. So Friday night, with admittedly, second shift did a great job of getting it done, but they needed 10 truckloads. So guess what? We loaded up 10 truckloads and sent it over to them. No drama, no nothing. Just got it done. And everybody's like, oh, great job. I'm like, yeah, but you didn't need to cause the drama in the first place. So I'm still a little irritated about it. I don't mind being called out if I deserve it, but this is one of those things where, wow, that was like, we just showed like how easy that was for us to get done. We have the easy end. We're loading up the trucks. They have to unload them and put them away. They're the ones who have the tougher end of it. So for them to call us out is just, anyway, that was my Friday. So thankfully it is now Saturday and I haven't thought about that all day. Thank God. And glad I haven't, but yeah, I was, so then of course we have the crash, which I never panicked about. I was kind of like, well, let me take a look. Let's see what's going on. And by the time I had a chance to look at it, it had already, I didn't catch it at the flash crash. I caught it well after the flash crash. I think that mainly happened at like 5:30 Central Time, I think, somewhere around there. And I didn't actually get a chance to look at it until like much later, 6:30 or 7 o'clock. And at that point, Bitcoin had made its way back up to, I think, 113, something like that. And I was kind of like, okay, yeah, it's normal capitulation, no big deal. But I hadn't looked at the altcoins yet. And once I looked at that, I was like, oh, that's where all the excitement's about. So thankfully I don't have a lot of money in, super altcoins. Basically most of my stuff, I shouldn't say all my stuff. Most of my stuff is in stuff that's in like the top 50. But some of that stuff was hit pretty hard. I mean, like Solana was hit pretty hard. I wasn't invested in Tau at the time. So I didn't get hit with that. Let's see. We got 22 people in there. Let's see who else joined before I continue on that. Integra guy, good to see you, sir. Lukewarm Mining, good to see you. And Northern Crypto and Tech, good to see you guys. Anyway, so what's kind of weird about it is before the whole drama thing started at work, I check crypto every once in a while, and I noticed that Litecoin had gone up to 131, and then a little bit later in the day it went down to 126, and I'm like, I just had a gut feeling like, don't miss the opportunity. It ran up pretty rapidly. It could very easily fall back down. Just have a feeling that there's going to be something. And at the time, I didn't really evaluate the gut feeling, but if I had really thought about it, I would have been like, yeah, it's been a long time since Donald Trump has come out with some type of tariff announcement to harass the markets into, basically dropping their pants. So, in hindsight, I'm like, that was my spidey sense basically saying something's going to happen. It's Friday. And, it's funny because, my wife basically, Sunflower Mama, had basically said, Trump didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize. So he's going to do something today. And again, it didn't dawn on me whether that's true or not. My point is that I had number of notifications, things that were telling me you need to put on the brakes. You need to do some more selling. And unfortunately, I didn't, as most of us didn't, but I wasn't leveraged either. So yeah, and I'll go into that in a little bit, but obviously leverage is what caused all of the issues. Well, I shouldn't say all the issues. That is, having that much long leverage basically enables an opportunity to people that want to manipulate the market. All they got to do is start the ball rolling down the hill. That's all they have to do. And that ball will get bigger and speed up as it goes down the hill. And that's what happened. They just have to get it started to have like the first pin drop, the first bowling pin drop, and that leverage has to be liquidated. And then that things go down further because they have to sell. Same thing, next one, then the next one, then the next one. So it just kept picking up speed. The more leverages that have to be liquidated, the faster it goes down the hill. So that is no different than if you ever heard of a short squeeze. It's obviously a completely different thing. That's on the upward side. But this is the same type of thing on when a market starts to head south. It can happen to a stock market. The difference, though, is the stock market has guardrails, shall we say, where when things start going downhill, they stop trading on specific stocks or on entire markets if things go down far enough. So obviously crypto doesn't have that, and thus you can get what we just had, which was a very, very significant flash crash. So I think there's a lot of lessons to be learned from this. One is, and I've been saying this, and I know other people, I know hobbyists have said it, always keep some of your powder dry. And I saw there was one guy on Twitter, Michael Hyan, something like that. Anyway, he talked about having coffee trades. And what he means is the price of a cup of coffee, put a trade at a really, really low price so that you catch flash crashes, something that is completely unreasonable. Atom went down to 0.001, and it's back up at, well, last time I was watching a video, it was up at 274. That's 2,734% increase. That $5 turned into like 13,000, I think is what they said. I mean, it's a good strategy, and it's just basically keeping maybe a couple $100, depending on how many cryptos you want to go across with that, on the sidelines for that once in a lifetime event. So I thought that was a really interesting strategy. I don't think there's really anybody that caught it at 0.001. I mean, obviously somebody must have, because it has to start going back up, but for the most part, most people didn't. But even if you put something in at, 99% loss, that one happened to be 99.8% loss. But yeah, just something to keep in mind. It's really kind of made me think. There's a lot of things I was frustrated about with this. One of them is I typically will straddle. Basically, I'll say my positions, I will have a sale price, at which point I will sell automatically, and then a trigger point for buying at a really low price. And unfortunately, I haven't been doing that for a while. I got lazy. And so I didn't get to take as big of an advantage as I would have liked, because I did for quite a while have a Bitcoin purchase in the 80s, and that probably would have triggered, because I think on Kraken it went down into the 80s, but I didn't. Hindsight's 2020. But bottom line is, learn from events like this and try to make sure that you are able to take advantage of it. Like I said, don't hate the player, don't hate the game. Go along with what we are seeing and the market manipulation, and know the pattern. And bottom line is, it's been quite a while since Trump had come out with anything negative on tariffs, and it was about time. Whether the thing about rare earth minerals is real or not, or at least worth that much of backlash, that's I think irrelevant. It was bound to happen that he was going to come out with some type of negative tariff thing that is kind of his thing. So keep that in mind in the future, that we are not going to be in a regular bull market. This is going to be a bumpy ride. Obviously, we proved that today. Now, with that said, this type of event, now admittedly not this big, but this type of event has happened in the past, where during a bull run, all the long leverage gets liquidated, or at least most of it. But I don't, and obviously never went this far. So, all right, let me catch up on chat since I've been ignoring it. Sox fans like, more like set Uptober. Lots of red. Growth funds have made way too much. I'm all in dividends. Birds of the air, you are absolutely right. I have made those changes in my retirement accounts, where I've gone into what they call growth and income funds, basically dividend companies. So yeah, I'm right there with you. Not sure bonds is the place to be right now. I definitely got out all risky bonds. High yield bonds I've gotten out of. But let me talk a little bit about that in a second. Birds of the air, my growth fund has made 25% a year for 5 years straight. That's not sustainable. I mean, it can be, but yeah, we've gone too far too fast. I think this type of drop is, and it hasn't happened yet in the stock market. So I'm kind of a little worried on Tuesday that we might get this initial crash at the beginning of the trading on Tuesday, and then see where we go from there. Before I get back into the chat, so one of the other things, if you think about economics and how recessions start, not necessarily get started, but how they start. Typically, there's a stock market crash about 6 months prior to the start of the actual recession. So maybe this is what this may start. I don't know. But here's the thing. If we don't significantly recover the value that's been lost in a couple of months, there will be repercussions. People will start changing their purchasing decisions because they've lost a bunch of money. They don't feel as secure as they did before. A big part of recessions is it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if people believe that there's something to worry about, then they will stop spending as much money. Well, what's to make them believe that things are heading in the wrong direction? Well, when the value of their investments just went down by 30%. So again, it goes down by 30% and then bounces back within a month or two. Yeah, people have some patience, but they don't have a lot of patience. And it'd be really interesting to see how this downturn, if it does turn into a big stock market downturn on Tuesday, how that could affect Christmas spending. And if it affects Christmas spending, yeah, we're going to be, hey, I'll tell you what, if that happens, Trump's going to get his wish. We're going to get lower interest rates. That's for sure. It's one of those catch-22s. How do we get lower interest rates? We need to speed up the economy. Well, we want a strong economy though. Well, if you have a strong economy, then you don't really need to lower interest rates, because then you're going to speed up inflation. So it's a balance, but we will get lower interest rates if this becomes more of a, I don't want to say systemic, but becomes more of a prolonged downturn, as opposed to just a one-time event. And now we start to trade sideways for a while and then start to head back up, or maybe head back up right away. I was watching, what the hell's the name of it? Altcoin. I don't know. It's an altcoin channel. I'm trying to remember what it is, but anyway, he was talking about the fact that he thinks we're going to trade sideways all the way through the end of October. I'm not so sure that that's going to happen. Altcoin Daily, that's what it is. I'm not so sure that's going to happen, but yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I still think it's a great time to buy, not financial advice. But that's what I did today. I transferred, decent amount of money. I won't go into how much it was, but a decent amount of money. And I traded about 25% of it, into a number of different things. Put a flyer into Flux because it's way down. Tau, Filecoin, Ethereum, more Litecoin. The only thing I didn't buy was Bitcoin. I feel like, not sure where Bitcoin's going from here. I mean, I think it'll go up. I just think there's a bigger opportunity with the altcoins than there is with Bitcoin. So I'm taking some riskier, I guess, plays. Trying to remember, there were a few other things I did buy. Oh, I bought Render as well. Yeah, I don't remember. I think there was one more that I bought. What did you guys do? Any of you do any buying? Let me start checking out the chat again. Let's see. LOL, yeah, pencil pusher. Oh, okay. You're making comments about me being a warehouse manager. I posted my holding in Zcash before the crash. I don't regret it. Yeah, I saw that you made that comment on another stream. Yeah, good for you. Good for you. Frogman says, well, I've been fiddling with 2011 Mini Cooper, got from friend $500 because needs a few new things. Major one is an oil pump, control valve solenoid. Finally got pan off, etc. Got new one and the sprocket. Oh, well, good for you. Hopefully you get that going. And then bolt for timing sprocket, head broke, LOL. So now another week. Yeah. Yeah. Older cars can be rewarding when they run for a long time without problems, but when they have problems, they can be very, very frustrating. Rizzo 529 says, I closed my only leveraged XRP trade almost a month ago, all spot currently. Good. Very good. Actually, before I go further, so, I'll be talking a little bit about Kraken tonight, but I made all my trades on Kraken. And when I went into Kraken, on my phone, I went into the trade screen and there's just a selector. Like, do you want to turn on 10 times leverage? 10 times leverage. Are you crazy? So suddenly my amount of money was multiplied by 10 times. And I'm like, what the, it was actually even more than that. It was like 20 times. Yeah, it was 20 times. They call it 10 times leverage, but it was 20 times what my investable income was. I'm like, no wonder people, I mean, it's just so easy. Just hit the button and then it says, hey, you've never done leverage before. You need to agree to a whole bunch of things. But it's too easy to enable leverage. Too easy. And I think there's too many people professing like, hey, this is the way to go. I don't know if any of you guys heard about the guy in Ukraine who committed suicide. He was a leverage trader. Right now they're saying that they think it was a suicide because he was found in his car with his gun. But all right, let me keep going. Oh, Frogman. Oh, on a great note, I won 200 USD BITC in a Miss Teen Cryptos giveaway. Nice. Nice. Congrats. Northern Crypto. There are a lot of bolts on cars that are torque to yield bolt, meaning that when you torque it to spec, the bolt stretches. You need to replace them every time you remove them, Frogman. Interesting. That would make sense. Northern Crypto and Tech. I did, meaning that he replaced the bolts. It literally broke off as I was trying to snug it first. Crypto MB. Google says stock market is open, bond market is closed. On Monday? Really? One of the articles I was reading said that all the markets were closed, but I wondered, I was kind of like, for Columbus Day, is it really closed? I know there's some government offices that are closed, but all right, good. I hope I want rip the band-aid off. Rip the band-aid off. So Integra Guy bought some ETH. Cool. Frogman says it was about the executive. Oh, got it. He's pretty down to earth. You could tell going into the call that he was not in a good mood. Something else was bothering him. I don't know what it was, but you usually can tell. And so yeah. So Rizzo529 says, yesterday I bought more BTC and XRP, dry powder, LOL. Yeah, I mean, I was lucky. I do have quite a bit of dry powder that I could deploy. I'm not going to. I want to stay somewhat conservative, but like I said, I took about I invested so far of my dry powder. Let's see. About not even 5%. So, yeah, it was a relatively small investment. So, Gonzo Miner, good to see you. Good to see you. So anyway, yeah, it was, it's been quite the market. Let me, see if I can bring it up over here. Let's see where we're at now. I thought I saw Bitcoin earlier today down below 111 again. I haven't looked at it recently, but let me switch over. There we go. That's right. I can't change where I am on this, but yeah, it's actually right at 110 right now. But again, look at the 7-day. Remember, we did have a run up. So Bitcoin is literally only down 10% in the last 7 days. That's it. Ethereum's down 17%. Okay, it's a healthy loss. BNB is only down 3%. XRP was down 21. Solana's down 23. I don't know if I said I actually did buy a little bit of Solana too. I kind of already know I want to buy a little bit more, but I thought I'll just split it up into 2 purchases. Let's see. Dogecoin took quite the hit, 27. Cardano, 25. So typically somewhere between 15 and 25 seems to be where most of these coins went to. Wow, Sui is at 31 for the week. Wow. Avalanche, same thing, 30, but it went down far and then bounced back for a while. Let's see. Litecoin down 24%. But yeah, I sold 10 Litecoin, bought it back for, basically 25% down. So at least I was able to save that. So if you take, basically saved about $250 in gains by selling what I sold. It was funny though. I sold 5 first, and I'm like, well, let's just get 5. Let's just do 5. I'll feel comfortable. Maybe I shouldn't have sold it, but if it's just 5, I'm fine. So I just decided, let's just sell 5. And about a half an hour later, I'm like, don't be stupid. Don't be greedy. Sell at least another 5. So I sold the other 5 and then was still thinking about it, but then got busy with all this other crap I was just talking about. So was not able to even think about what other moves I was going to make for the rest of the day. So so it is what it is. Let's see what else. Monero's only down 11%. That's pretty good. Again, it seems like the security coins seem to be doing pretty well. Chronos down 26%. Am I logged in? I'm not logged in, am I? All right, hang on a second. Let me switch back over and let me log in so I can look at all the coins we love. All right, now go to watch list. There we go. All right, let me switch back now. All right, there we go. So, yeah, Polkadot down 30%. That's like, that was crazy. I did buy some Polkadot at under 3. I was like, Polkadot under $3. That's crazy. That is crazy talk. So, yeah, I traded this between 3.7 and 4.1. I round tripped that thing a number of times when we were trading sideways. Well, now down at 295. I was like, that's nuts. Bid Tensor I bought for under 300. I think I bought it for a little over 290. So, but right around this range. And let's see. Algorand, let's see, any render down 33%. That's why I bought a little bit of that. I'll go into render in a little bit. Filecoin down at $1.52. That's crazy. That is crazy. So I did buy some of that. I bought 200 Filecoin. So again, $300. We're not talking anything crazy. Yeah, Jupiter down to 33 cents. Not buying any more of that though. I still have like 293, something like that. Jupiter. I was hoping to have it get closer to $1 again and then sell at that point. That artificial superintelligence down 40%. Ouch. So some of these are still pretty serious losses. I mean, helium only down 15%. Not bad. Now it had been taking a hit like over the, I think the past few weeks. So that's not super surprising. Let's see. Hive Mapper down 28%. Flux, yes, down 37%. Down to 12 cents. Ouch. I just don't. I did do like just bought 1,000, like $120 worth of Flux. So I decided to take a little bit of a flyer because even if, you know, it goes up to, you know, back up to 19 cents, which I think it will, goes back up to 19 cents, just sell it and be done with it. And I'll talk a little bit about my Flux strategy as well. Because I had bought some earlier, so I did take a loss on this, but I also had, I'll go into that in a little bit. Lithium actually held pretty steady. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Demo down 27. So yeah, as you get further down, generally you're starting to see bigger losses. Pyron down 37%. I'm surprised it's still around, honestly. Neoxa, hey, Neoxa only down 17%. Of course, every single week it's down to not even a cent, not even a tenth of a cent. It's down to 100th of a cent. 100th of a cent. Ugh. Ugh, ugh, ugh. So yeah, those are a few things. So let me go back to Flux. Because it's, I mean, it is like, I don't recommend anybody doing this. It is an absolute flyer of a play. But felt like, you know, the price of Flux was relatively low. I currently run 1 Nimbus node and 2 Cumulus nodes. But when it goes and does the fork, the Nimbus node will make considerably more than what it makes right now. Right now it makes like, well, I shouldn't say that. This was before the drop. So it was making somewhere in the range of around $26, $27, and it's going to go up to like 70. So Nimbus nodes are going up a lot as far as how much they're going to be making. So I have a Nimbus node and 2 Cumulus. Well, I don't want to keep my 2 Cumulus running when Nimbus is going to do as well as it is. So I bought enough to get me to another Nimbus node, but not totally. I need to wait until after the fork. Once the fork happens, any parallel assets I have, I'm then going to basically trade those in for native Flux, and that'll get me to enough for another Nimbus node. So, and honestly, the way I'm kind of playing is I figured, okay, I'm going to buy the Flux now when I thought the price was low. I did buy some after the crash, but I bought, I think, like 4,000 of it before the crash at like 17. That was interesting, actually, is that I did take a portion of that I bought at 14, and it went back up to 19. I sold it at 19.8 or something like that, and then it immediately came back down and I bought it back. So I actually did make a small profit on it, on a portion of it, but overall definitely a loss. But anyway, I made the play, so I'm keeping it, and I'm gonna roll out a second Nimbus node, get rid of my 2 Cumulus nodes, and that'll be it for Flux, and we'll see where that goes. But kind of curious to see where it goes once all these changes are made. But anyway, so that's my riskiest play right now. But again, not a huge portion of my portfolio, but still more than it should be, I guess. All right, let me go back to the chat. Let's see. All right. I've been trading BC2 up and down, buy low, sell high. What, I have not really, I've been hearing about BC2, but I haven't been really paying any attention to it. What exchange is BC2 on? Poor Caspa. Oh, that was the other one I bought. I did buy Caspa at like 5.6, about 5,000 Caspa at 5.6 cents. So that one is a play. We'll see where that goes. I felt like that was, I think Caspa will still at least go back up into the 7.5 to 8 cent range, which is where I'll probably sell out of it. Again, these aren't necessarily like belief plays. This is just where do I think the dead cat bounce could go to? That's honestly what I'm thinking. Is where will it bounce to the next time we get a little bit of a pump? Integrity Guy says, Smokey Dan, I saw that too. Crazy. Oh, sorry. Gave me Smokey Dan. Sup, chat. If it hasn't been said already, someone made 190 million on shorts of BTC and ETH during the market crash. Voidzilla made a video on it. Yeah, there's been a bunch of people talking about that. Certainly been speculation as to who that might be. But bottom line is the timing would have anybody suspecting market manipulation and be thinking that's a crime, except market manipulation of crypto is not yet a crime. As far as I know, it's stock market manipulation that's a crime. Again, it's still pretty much the wild, wild west when it comes to crypto. So as long as you understand that the market is going to be manipulated, you just need to understand how bad it can get and how to take advantage of it. Again, we learned through this one, it can be manipulated. Put your coffee trades in. Put your coffee trades in. Just put a couple $100 into an exchange, make a bunch of coffee trades, and let it sit. And if you ever hit any of those, you'll have a much better chance of hitting one of those coffee trades than hitting a Bitcoin block on a BitX miner, and it'll cost you less money. So I highly recommend, I'm going to do that. I have not done it yet, but I will do it. But yeah, enter your coffee trades. $5 is about what a cup of coffee costs at Starbucks. I know Dunkin' Donuts is cheaper. You can get it for like $3.35, an extra large cup of coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. But anyway, but yeah, get your coffee trades in, make sure you're prepared for the next time this happens. Maybe it'll be 4 years from now. Doesn't matter. If it's 4 years from now and you're able to finally take advantage of it, that's still pretty darn amazing for a $5 investment. And again, you set it at a decent level, maybe not the 0.001 that Adam went to, but get your coffee trades in. But yeah, this guy remarkably entered in a few days ago and put in basically was shorting the whole market. And it was talked about 2 days ago, but it went in one ear and out the other for me. I didn't really like think about it. Like, this is a big short. And a lot of people were just kind of like poo-pooing it. Like, oh yeah, of course some idiot does this. It happens all the time. Yeah, it's a lot of money. Yeah, well, that guy obviously knew more. And then shortly before the Trump announcement, he doubled down on that short investment and made 190 million in 30 minutes, whatever. It was a very, very short period of time that he made all that money. But no, there was no insider information. Of course not. He didn't know anything about what Trump was going to do. He didn't know about what other people were going to do about helping that snowball start down the mountain. No, they didn't know anything about the explosion at the top that was going to start the avalanche. No, not at all. It's all coincidence. We all don't believe that. But again, we know that that's the game. That is the game. So we just have to make sure that we learn from this. And what we take away from it is, what do we do about it? What do we do about it? What do we do, A, to protect ourselves the next time, and to better take advantage of it the next time? And one of the things I am really going to be keeping more track of is, okay, so this was the last time Trump said something really negative, you know, about tariffs or about anything else. The question is how long was it from the last one? I want to look at history. I haven't looked at it that closely yet, but I'm thinking that come second week of December, something like that, shortly before Christmas, he's going to come out with something else. I think that's kind of the timing. So we'll start seeing some increases back in the market. There'll definitely be some sideways trading as people are doing either tax loss harvesting or tax gain harvesting, towards the end of the year. But I still think we're going to see an increase towards the end of the year. All depends on what Trump decides he's going to communicate, either on Truth Social or via press conference. What was interesting was he communicated this on Truth Social and it didn't do anything. And then when he came out at the podium, that's when everything happened. I find that's what I think is a little fishy, because enough people are paying attention to the Truth Social. Now, admittedly, he didn't completely spell it out in the Truth Social, but he pretty much did. So, all right, let me check. Integra guy smoke. We saw the Voidzilla video. I saw the Voidzilla video was out. I hadn't watched it yet. But like I said, I know exactly what he's talking about. Yeah, a few traders put it in videos today. Exactly. Yeah, man, 12-cent flux is depressing. Kinda, but I'm like, 12-cent flux. Here's why I still keep that flyer, because the technology is there. I have 2 nodes. I have 3 nodes. 2 of them, well, the Nimbus node is constantly in use. It is providing revenue to Flux because people are paying for it. I use Flux. I have my pre-search nodes on Flux. Not that they're making a lot of money or anything, but I do have pre-search nodes on Flux. It actually has function. It actually does something. So the question is will other companies, especially with their latest Arcane software, which now everybody's complaining about corporate security. Well, now with Arcane, they do have security that is enterprise level. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. They've been talking about a particular enterprise client for quite a while, and they've been suggesting that it is imminent. So I'm kind of curious to see what happens. I may ride it until that announcement comes out and start seeing some, use of it by that company, and hopefully I would think see the price of Flux go up as a result. And then at that point, maybe think about, okay, how long do I actually stay in this before I exit? So I don't know. But I think in the short term, I feel pretty good about it. But we'll see. We'll see. I honestly think people get really mad at Dan. Let's just be honest. People get really mad at Dan because he's passionate about what he's doing, and he will defend his project, and yes, maybe be an asshole about it. But that's because he so strongly believes in it. But honestly, while Dan was very involved at the beginning and he's involved in overall decisions, he is not the one developing this. He is not the one making this happen. He, as with most CEOs. So I don't want to say he's irrelevant. I don't mean it that way. What I mean is that the developers have been developing this for quite a while, and I've seen improvements. I've seen the development work. I've seen all of those improvements and what's happened with those improvements. So I'm hopeful that they get closer to where they want their end goal to be. So we'll see though. We'll see. Let's see. Jumped a bit. I'll read that in a second. Game of Smoky Dan says to Integra Guy, I wonder if it was Nancy again, or maybe she was the AMD trader. If we're talking, I didn't see the Voidzilla video, so if that's what you guys are talking about, I'm not sure. But I thought this was funny. Too many forks, when spoons, asking for a friend. I don't create it's a fork in the road. It's not a kitchen utensil. It's a fork going two different directions. There's somebody keeping me honest about my saying that word. I'm gonna say that's the first time, and I've said that word so many times tonight. You got some catch up to do, Smokey Dan. Got some catch up to do. Oh, Rizzo, non-KYC. Okay. Yeah, I wonder how long that particular exchange is going to still be around. Yeah. Not sure, but cough. Insider trading cough. Yeah, there's all kinds of there's so much market manipulation written all over this. All over it. Yeah. Good to see you, Abel. Let's see. Q always has meme. I don't know that meme. Yeah, definitely Wild West. Absolutely. Red Panda's here. Hello. Good to see you, Mr. Red Panda. Hey, if you are still here. I need a favor. I need you to get that case working. There's been some talk about that particular case of that the risers may not work that well. So get a move on. So, because I'm kind of with some of the things that came up in Discord about that one chassis. There was one guy that had the one chassis that was I forget his name, Andrew something. Anyway, he bought 5 of them and all the stuff to put in it. Well, he was only coming up as Gen 4. Somebody came up in chat and said that they were only coming up as Gen 1. I'm like, damn. So I don't know if anybody's going to the BIOS and actually trying to set the PCIe speed to Gen 5 and seeing what'll happen. That's what I would try instead of just setting it to auto. But you also might get errors as well. Anyway, that is my ask. Motherboard 5000 series GPU. Doesn't even have to be a 5090. Just needs to be something that can do PCIe 5 and then test all of the slots and see if they all come up as PCIe 5 and stay there without errors. So yeah, kind of curious about that. All right, let's see. Patrick Murphy, did you just assume my gender? I didn't say anything, but yeah, I assumed you were a guy. So yeah, shame on me if you're not. My favorite furry is here. Oh, Patrick Murphy, Smokey Dan, and Rizzo are all banned. Hey, this is my live stream, not yours, Panda. Do I need to take away your moderation? Do I? Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. There was also an AMD insider trade too. Interesting. John Germain, good to see you. Black Cat team, good to see you. I don't think, oh, no, I don't think I missed anybody else. I think I got everybody else. But you guys snuck in. Gave me Smokey Dan. I got fed up with X sending me bot replies to delete my X account that is suspended. So I used Gemini to type up a message and sent that. Not heard from them yet. Why were you banned from X? What did you do? Or why were you suspended? My wife was put in timeout once. Actually, twice. She was put in timeout twice. Great. It's going to be a while. Okay. Posting again as not showing on my chat screen. Posting again. That's why you were suspended? Oh, got it. You're posting the word beer thing. Got it. Red Panda says, I was reading about that. ASRock actually put out a new BIOS update to fix it. Ah, interesting. Well, I'll pass that along in my Misfit Mining channel. Appreciate that. I'll have to take a look to see if I can find that BIOS update. Very interesting. Like in the past month or week or two, I think is what you're trying to say there. Gave me a smoking head. No idea. Guess was when I was using the bot in Flux Discord to like and reply to posts. So wait a minute. Are you banned from X or banned from Discord? Interesting. All right. Well, let's see. What else was I going to talk about tonight? Let's see if I can go over anything else with the market. Well, I already talked about what I was doing. I said this is predictable. It's just a matter of, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. When is the United States president going to come out and say something that is going to artificially crash the market? Because if you think that we're going to have 100% tariffs, maybe they might go into effect, but it won't be for long. And if the people that work in that department have anything to say about it, they're going to be like, fix this before the day. Because if they then retroactively stop them, it causes even more work for the government, because then they have to cut checks and do so much more paperwork for refunds, which is what they had to do back in April. It was a nightmare. It was definitely a nightmare. All right. So moving on to Gaming with Smokey Dan. Left Flux Discord when it happened, as asked for help and got none. That was 4 years ago now. Got it. So I have not gotten a power bill since the middle of August. We're 2 months later, basically 2 months later. Haven't gotten a bill. So called ComEd this past week and said, hey, what's going on? And they basically said, well, you had an audit on September 3rd, 4th, whatever that day was, somewhere around there, 2nd. And so we have to change your rate to the better rate that I talked about prior. And I'm like, cool. So you're just not going to send me a bill until that gets done? They're like, probably not. So you probably will get a bill in November, but probably not October. So I can't tell you for sure, but that's what it looks like to me. I said, okay, can you at least tell me if I got a credit from my community solar? And they said, yes, you got a credit of $512. I'm like, that's awesome. So $512, I should only have to pay 80% of that, which means I saved $100 during that month on my power. But here's the other part. I got an email the first or beginning of the second week of September saying, hey, be ready. You're going to be getting your first bill this month. Well, guess what? We're on October 11th and I still haven't gotten a bill from them either. But now I have 3 credits from them totaling $1,300. So they have contributed $1,300 towards my electric bill, and I haven't paid them a dime yet. How do you stay in business by doing it that way? I just don't understand. They've provided the credits. It's not like they're waiting for anything. They're not waiting for ComEd to do anything. It's up to them to create the bill, and they haven't done it yet. So yeah. But hey, it's all in my favor. The longer I can hold on to my money, that's great. But it is very, very odd. Now, the other thing that happened today, because I was, I'm trying to remember exactly why. Oh, I remember why. So, a friend of my wife's, she was talking to him about how we were doing power and talking about hourly program, and they were very, very interested. So they're like, hey, why don't you send them your affiliate link so they can ask questions and then sign up using that? And I'm like, great. So I went in to log in. According to the hourly pricing site, I no longer am signed up for the program. So yeah. Actually, Integra guy, can you do me a favor if you are still here? Try signing into the hourly website and see if it gives you that same message. Because what I'm worried about is from my call this past week that somebody did something stupid and took me off of the hourly pricing program, which I would be really, really angry about. And I'm wondering if they made the change to my rate and then changed it to standard rate instead of hourly as they were making this other change. And again, I'll be really angry because once you go off of the, once you go off of the program, you have to wait a year to get back on it. Now I'll scream bloody murder. I'll get back on it and I want it retroactive. But I'm annoyed. And of course it's a Saturday. Can't call anybody because they're closed. They don't have anybody working on Saturday because they're the power company and they can do whatever the hell they want because they're a monopoly. Yay. So yeah. So Monday will come around and they probably will have the day off. So they probably won't be open on Monday. So I have to wait till Tuesday, but, I'm hoping that it's just a glitch. And that it's nothing more than that, but here, let me switch back. I'm gonna try it again. Because when I first tried to log in, it says, we don't even know the account. And I'm like, well, that's weird. So then I reset my password. I double checked to make sure I had the right ID. Oh yeah. Gave me a Smoky Dan. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I don't channel my inner Karen because honestly, you You get a lot more done with honey than with vinegar. So you basically don't make it about the person on the phone. If you do need to vent to basically get somebody to understand how severe the situation is to you, that you apologize. Hey, I don't mean to shoot the messenger. I'm just really, really upset about this. So it isn't about you being mad at them. You're mad at the situation, and you make that very, very clear. Usually people will respond to that. At least that's what I have found. And then if you figure out whether or not that person that you're on the phone with can help you or not, and then go from there. But usually I can weave my way through the system and become enough of a needle in their side that I'm just kind of like, you know, hello, and I don't stop. I will make 10 phone calls if I have to make 10 phone calls. So you can log into hourly pricing. All right, I'm going to try to log into it and see if it changed, which I'm sure it probably didn't for me because they screwed it up. Nope. The username is not associated with any accounts currently active on hourly pricing. Now, if I put in my email under forget username and password, it brings up this, and I had it saved, so I know what it is. So this is bad, and I can't go into my regular account to verify what tariff I'm on because they don't have that listed anywhere. So I'm really frustrated because I haven't had a bill since the middle of August, so I can't even look at a bill. Even if it was on the bill and I didn't see it, maybe I missed it, but even if I did, it doesn't matter because the change happened later. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. So sometimes, yeah, gotta break a few eggs sometimes to get what you want. So yeah, there's always a risk whenever somebody's messing around with your account and making changes that somebody makes a mistake. And I think in this case, they did, and they're gonna have to fix it. But hopefully I'm wrong, and that by the time I go to log in on Monday, it'll show up as normal. But we'll see. They are going to be really confused though, because I actually re-signed up again, and they verified the fact that I had submitted a re-sign up, because I wasn't gonna like just let it go. And I haven't gotten an email back, at least last time I checked. Let's see here. Checking my email. Let me do this. Oh, you know what? I think... No, here it is. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a... Thank you for submitting your enrollment for hourly pricing. Somebody will get back to you. On average, your account takes 1 to 3 billing periods to transition to hourly pricing. If you have any questions, please call. So I will call hourly pricing. I will call the general account line. Yeah, it's somebody within ComEd, not at the hourly pricing program, that's screwed up. But I'm hoping, because there's a different company that runs the hourly pricing program. So I'm hoping that they, since they're a smaller entity, that they will be easier to work with. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But anyway, that's kind of the little bit of stress I'm dealing with right now, because I do not want to lose the hourly pricing. It totally defeats, changing and doing the whole heat pump thing. It will net it out. I basically save about 3 cents per kilowatt hour by going with hourly pricing. I also do the same thing with the heat pump, and they should be additive, not replacing. So yeah. All right, let's see. Let's see. So does that mean in that time your power is free? Again, asking for a friend. No, my power will not be free. They will just add it up and it'll be one freaking huge bill. I'm sure. Wouldn't be the first time that's happened. Let's see. I can log. Okay. Yeah, you can log into it. Yep. Jackson Digital, good to see you. Max, I like to act like I'm just the dumbest guy that just can't figure out the issue and let them solve the problem proactively. Well, yes, that's actually a good strategy, by making the other person feel smart. And I don't mean that they're dumb. I just mean, don't you appear to be the condescending asshole. Even if you do in fact know more than them about a subject, don't do that in a lot of cases. There are definitely some cases where I have done that. One of them is Comcast, because what I have learned with Comcast, you need to get off the phone. If you have a complicated issue that you know first tier can't help you with, restarting my modem is not going to help. I've already done that. I do that before I call you guys to see if that solves the problem. Anyway, sometimes you need to be the dick so that they just want to get you off the phone by allowing you to go to the next level. So there are different strategies that I use in order to make sure I get to the next level. I try to employ, and I mean try, I do employ more nice techniques because I find that they do go further. The bad thing about being nasty is that if you think companies don't have what Walt Disney World called the magic list, you're sorely mistaken. They do have lists of people that are difficult that they're just probably not going to spend a lot of time helping. So you don't want to end up on one of those lists. So there is gotta be a little careful in in how you do it. But yeah, how do I know that? My wife used to work for Walt Disney World reservations. Yeah, there was Magic List. I'm sure companies call it something different, but it's Disney. It's the Disney company. It's the Magic List, as in the Magic Kingdom. All right, let's see. Oh, but I don't have to act. I don't have to act very hard, so it's a pretty easy sell. Okay, I wouldn't go that far. Jackson Digital, no. But like I said, it is definitely a good strategy. That usually does work. Did your account do the whole past due, but you can't pay it? It did that 1 month, but that was a while ago when they were just having problems with billing. They've been having a lot of problems with billing in the last 2 years. So, and it could be actually, I've been asking them to fix my hourly pricing for quite a while because I have not had a comparison on the hourly pricing website since last January. We're talking almost 2 years since they were, and their whole thing was, well, you have solar, we have to work it out. Like, no, you don't. It's not that hard. So that's why I developed my own spreadsheet in order to do it. But I can't update my spreadsheet right now because they're not giving me bills. It's really frustrating. I'm dying to do a video and really promote community solar, as well as hourly pricing, as well as at least in our area, possibly looking at changing out your air conditioner for a heat pump. I think they're great strategies, and I really want to talk about them, but I want to actually see them actually get completely implemented. And right now I don't have a bill from community solar. I do have the credits to show, so I have half of what I'm doing on community solar, and I don't have the reduction in the transmission rate from ComEd yet, which I wouldn't expect. I was expecting to get that around the beginning of November. I just expected that I would get a normal bill, normal like my old bill, and then get a retroactive credit back to the previous bill for the next bill. But I think what ComEd is deciding is we don't want to do that. Makes things more complicated. Let's just get this done. Yes, you'll miss one billing cycle. Well, actually, you're going to miss 2 billing cycles. And then then we'll have it all squared away and you'll get your bill. So we'll see. But like I said, and I have no idea. I'm done asking for community my Clearway. I'm done asking them for a bill. If they don't ever send me a bill, I won't ever pay. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You send me a bill, I will pay it. I can't pay a bill that I don't know how much it's for. So anyway. All right. Let it go. Let it go. All right. So I'll get off of that subject. Gaming Spoken says, when I worked in sales, I went by the motto, the customer is not always right. Now, when I am the customer, it's a different story. I mean, that is true. The customer isn't always right. And I've had situations where I'm like, no. I've had to tell customers no. The most rewarding thing is, and if you're in sales, and you'll know this if you're in sales, is firing a customer. Because you don't take it lightly, because that's your paycheck. If you're in sales, most likely you're on commission. That's your paycheck. So if you fire a customer, you know that there's a very good reason why you fired that customer. And when I was in mortgages, yeah, I think I had 2 customers. It was either 1 or 2 customers that I fired. Oh yeah. It was like, you know, they thought they knew more about the process. They didn't want to do anything I was asking that was absolutely reasonable as far as paperwork. I explained why I needed the paperwork. I said, you know, it's not about whether I agree with it or you agree with it. It's what's required. If you do not want to supply this reasonable paperwork, I can't give you that rate. I absolutely cannot give you that rate. So it's up to you. So generally, customers will fire themselves. Then I'm like, fine, go somewhere else. And then it's funny when they try to call back and you're like, no, I'm not answering this call. He already said he was going somewhere else and he was done. Fine. You're done. You're done. Yeah. Actually, probably the most, it was funny for me, but not for the other guy. I had a friend of mine, and sorry if you've heard this story before, but I had a friend of mine that I used to work with at Motorola, and he basically had a second home. He inherited it. Anyway, he needed a mortgage for that home. So I said, sure, I can do it. So, but he was shopping me. No problem. I have no problem with that. It's business. And he's like, this other person's giving me this deal. I said, I'll tell you right now, there is no way that that person is offering you that deal on the straight and narrow. I said, absolutely not. You are going to get screwed at closing. That deal is literally impossible. I said, but you're refinancing. I understand that that deal looks really good. I might do the same thing as you're about to do and just take that deal. But know this, because most people don't. You're refinancing. You are not purchasing the home. When you get to closing and it isn't what they say it's going to be, walk out. You have no obligation to sign any of those papers or to complete the loan at that point. So walk out. What did he do? He walked out. And he said, it was $9,000 difference. And I'm like, whoa. Before you go, let me look at the numbers. It wasn't 9, but it was just under $5,000 more than what the initial document said. And he's like, I am not going back in there. What rate can you get me? And thankfully rates had actually dropped slightly. It was about the same deal. But I was able to give him a little bit of a kicker on some fees, because rates got slightly better at the time. And he's like, all right, how fast can you close me? I said, whoa, hang on. Said, it's busy. Rates have been dropping. I will get you through as fast as I can. It should be within 30 days. But anyway, I ended up closing that loan. But that was, I didn't fire the guy. He kind of fired himself, but he came back. He was a friend. But yes, things happen. Let's see. Oh, you gave me Smoky Nan. I think I missed one. Wow, am I really saying it that much tonight? Magic Mystery Bill. Yeah, I guess right now my electric bill is a magic mystery bill, whether it comes to the community solar or the actual ComEd. The thing that worries me about the community solar is I like to see things, you know, in black and white. I've seen the credits, so I know I'm getting those, but the actual amount I owe is supposed to be 20% less than that. Well, I haven't actually seen that yet. So I would like to see that proven out before the amount gets too high, because if they then come back and say I need to pay the same amount or only 10% less, I mean, if it's 10% less, it's still better than what I would have been paying anyway, but still want to see it in black and white. What am I going to owe? So we'll see. Integra guy, Max, my second meter has been a mystery bill. Oh, right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Hey, maybe mine will be the same way. I doubt it, but maybe. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, I'll see on either Monday or Tuesday. All right, what else did I have to talk about? Oh, so GPU render results for this week. Yeah, there you go, Gaming with Smoky Dan. I knew I said it. GPU render results was actually pretty good this week. $850. It's one of my highest ones. One of my highest results. Not everything was rented, but it's doing pretty well. This week is off to a little bit of a slower start. It slowed down a little bit towards the end of the week, and now it's starting out this week a little bit slower. But I'm still on target to be right at around $800 for the week, like just below it right now. Like $798 is what it's coming out to be right now. But not bad. Not bad at all. So why am I not complaining about GPU rentals slowing down? One answer. I got lucky with some long-term rentals. I got fortunate with some long-term rentals. 8 GPU rig, still rented. 6 GPU rig, although one of the jobs on one of the GPUs did fall off, so only 5 of the 6 on my Octo server are rented right now. And my other 4090s rented. That's been rented for a really long time. So the key is stability and having it from long-term rentals. If you have a significant outage of power or internet, you will lose jobs. And to get those back right now is difficult. So I have my fingers crossed that everything stays good, but odds are something will happen at some point. Most likely internet. Actually, internet's the least destructive, actually, because typically I do get internet outages of like 2 minutes when they're doing maintenance. And when they do that, I do lose some jobs, but my long-term ones generally stay. Those aren't generally a problem. But what I do find interesting is right now, 5090s are the most difficult to rent out of anything. 5060 Ti's still rented for the most part. Occasionally I'll get one that falls off and then it'll get picked back up again. But 5090s, man, it's difficult. I think there was a person in the vast.ai hosting channel, and what he had said was, he kind of went through an example of what graphics cards are needed for like a 20 billion model, which is pretty common. And they basically said the sweet spot is 24 gigabyte card, 4090 obviously, or 3090 are really the ideal cards for that. 32 gig is kind of overkill with what's out there right now and what people are using. So yes, it's like the I don't know. I'm trying to think of a high-end BMW, I guess, is what the 5090 is. When I'm trying to think of a good example. Like a 4090 isn't like a Chevy or anything. I'm not saying that, but I don't know. A 4090 is more like, I don't know, like an entry-level Lexus or something. You know, still good, still does the job really, really well. It just doesn't go as fast, and yeah, basically it doesn't go as fast. It's a big thing. And it doesn't have as much context. So if you have really, really big context, that's why you would need more memory. So I think that's part of it, because like I said, to me, it doesn't seem like it's about 5000 series anymore. So I'm curious. I'm really thinking that I won't be ordering any more 5090s. I may wait for the 5070 Ti to come out with the 24 gig of VRAM. At least I'm going to wait until that happens, and maybe at that point something will change, or I'll wait until then unless something else changes, because 5090s are just not getting rented that much. They're rented worse than 4090s. And it could just be that I'm having bad luck. I know I had bad luck on one of my 5090 rigs. It's my one that is not verified, and it got stuck at 96.7% reliability. It was not moving at all. So I got support involved, had to nag them a few times, and then lo and behold, it started moving. And then about that same time, I got a really super cheap rental. Ugh, wish I didn't do that. But anyway, the thing is, when it's rented, the reliability moves faster. So let's see, what am I at currently on that one? Do a refresh. Still the same. So 98, just double checking. Yeah, 98.6. But it can't get I'm trying to, I think it's, I've never seen anything verified that was less than 99% reliability. So yeah, I'm thinking at the very least, I need to get to 99% before they will even think about verifying that that particular rig. But I don't think they're in any big hurry to verify 5090s right now with the way things are getting rented. And I'm not the only one. There's other people saying, you know, similar things. But yeah, not a single one except for that unverified one at a stupid low rate is rented. My other three are not rented, although one is making 1 cent an hour, 1.1 cents an hour, because it's got storage on it. Yeah, I mean, it all goes through cycles, so we'll see. We shall see what happens. All right, let's see. If M here, I keep you honest. Yes, you do keep me honest. Integra guy. Oh, okay. So yeah, I already said that. Mike Hill. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. What did I say? Which part were you saying? Yes, they did. It was 9:20. Oh, 6 minutes ago. Jeez. That was quite a while ago. All right. Well, do I have anything else to talk about? Because I have been going. Oh, I did have one other thing to talk about. So, render. So I do have a rig on the compute network at Render, and I've been disappointed, to say the least. So I have been sending emails, talking in chat, trying not to piss anybody off, but at the same time being like, hey, what's going on here? So thankfully I did get a response within the Render. I'm not going to put that up there, but anyway, I'm going to read it. Oh, look at that. Yeah, there's more stuff going on in my chat. I have to check that after the stream. You know what? I will read this because let's see. So I was making some comments. Sorry. I'll come back to this. Anyway, let me go over to the vast. Render, and basically state what they said. So, somebody had suggested, when I made the point of I was paid to render for the entire month of September, and the first week of October I was paid for render. I mean, what gives? That's not what everybody else is making. Other people are making way more than that. And so I'm like, what's going on? This is a 5090. What's going on? And somebody had said, we'll send this email a message. And I'm like, yes, I did, but about other things I never got a response. I will try again. I sent a new email, did not get a response yet. But one of the people in render said, hey, we are working on that already. And then I basically said, I want to trust, but when I see almost everyone else getting paid way more than me and I have a 5090, well, it's kind of hard to keep the faith. And he then said, absolutely understandable. That's why I want to clear up this error. So admitting that it's an error. So, hopefully I start seeing, let me just, now that I'm saying it, let me see if anything changed in my wallet. I highly doubt it did, but let me just double check. See if anything changed in my render balance. Oh, I love it when I just pick up my phone and then it just goes nuts with notifications. Let's see. Nope, nothing changed. Nothing at all. So I haven't done anything yet, but and I checked my email just a little bit ago. I hadn't seen a response. So hopefully that will get straightened out. They have a lot going on, but they do have a compute node. They call them compute nodes. Compute node network, where they're basically doing what a lot of the other places are doing, obviously. So it's not the render network that they've done in the past. This is for just general compute. And so I was basically one of the first guys in to that network. And so they're kind of just figuring it out. So I will try to be patient, and hey, at least there's some content there, I guess. But yeah, it is frustrating to have a 5090 just making like 4 render a week. That's like $10 a week. It should be making like $6 a day. At a minimum, really should be making over $7 a day. So it should be making, you know, close to $50 a week, at least 45. And it's making 4 render, which the maximum is like $16. Now, with that said, hey, I guess it's making more than what my 5090s are making on Vast and pretty much any other platform out there. So I guess you could say that as well. So we'll see what happens with that. So yeah, let me go back to, not that I don't think Panda's here anymore, but let me go back to, because I basically had suggested, this is regarding the server case that we were talking about earlier. I said I would add 1 GPU at a time to the deployment in order to determine if any specific host adapter is the issue. Now I'm reading this. I have not read this. I'm reading it just as you guys are going to hear it with me. Yes, indeed. I tried all of this when I contacted William in support at ASRock Rack. He suggested I update my BIOS to the Turin BIOS, and he gave me a 10.04 BIOS and 11.02 BMC version for my Genoa 2D24G-2L Plus. At this point, I have tried 4 different brand cables, 10-Tech, 3M, Molex, and 1 chassis standard. For the riser, I only had a C-Pane, all of them trained to Gen 1. Wow. Finally, the 11.02 BMC is not allowing me to load any BIOS, and my motherboard is stuck in a post-boot loop now. Great. I ordered the Turin 2D24G-2L Plus. I'll give that one a try next, as BIOS and BMC released in September. And Tuesday, when William gets back to work, I'll see if he knows how I can unbork this Genoa motherboard. Wow. Oh, it says, then Rado had given an answer, had given some feedback as well. There's already a video on YouTube from one guy who deployed 5090 with that chassis. I already commented on that video with the question why it's only getting Gen 4 displaying when it should be Gen 5, but Gen 1 is really strange. How did you get that value? So, anyway, he was looking for that link. That particular person was saying that everything was fine. So yeah, I still think it, I mean, he said he tried a C-Pane and he was still getting Gen 1. That's really odd. So it doesn't sound like it's related to the chassis at all, or the actual risers or host adapters. But yeah, that does not make me want to head down that path right now. Not with the question of profitability to put that much money into it. Eesh. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. Well, I've been going for over an hour and a half, and I appreciate you guys all hanging out. And I will be back next Saturday. The one thing I will say is November 8th, I might be going on later. We're celebrating Thanksgiving early with the family because my son will be in town. My sister-in-law will be in town. So it's just kind of everybody's together at once. So we're going to do that on that particular Saturday. So I know that's a long way away. That's a month away, but just thought I'd mention it. So probably we'll still go live. Might change. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but we have some time. But again, appreciate you guys being here, and you guys all have a wonderful night. And as always, no tabs were harmed in the making of this live stream. Have a good one, everybody.